Welcome to part 5 of this series. We'll see 7 more mythical creatures for which the line between legend and lived experience grows thinner. Stay until the end because the final one is the sneakiest. Welcome to Wendigo Whisper. 1. Urayuli. Around Lake Iliamna, when night suffocates the forest and the ice groans beneath the wind, the elders speak of the urayuli. Enormous ape-like silhouettes nearly 3 meters tall move slowly between the trees, their long, gangly arms brushing the snow down to their ankles. Their shaggy fur ripples in the darkness, and their glowing eyes pierce the fog like 2 cold fires. It is said they emit a sharp cry, similar to that of a loon, to call back lost children. For the urayuli are believed to be the shadows of those who never returned, condemned to wander, peaceful yet terrifying, in the frozen silence. Researchers explain these stories as confusions with known animals, such as Alaskan brown bears, which can stand on their hind legs and appear enormous in low light. The high-pitched cries heard at night may come from birds like loons or from foxes. Despite scientific explanations, some observations remain unexplained. Giant human-like footprints, unfamiliar sounds, and repeated encounters around Lake Iliamna raise an unsettling question. What if something still escapes science? If you enjoy this episode, subscribe. The further we go, the stranger the creatures become, and the harder they are to dismiss. 2. Werewolf. Across Europe, villagers once feared the werewolf, a human curse to transform into a wolf-like beast under the full moon. Stories describe creatures standing upright, eyes glowing, tearing through livestock, and sometimes people. Some accounts insist the beast retained fragments of human awareness, making its actions feel deliberate rather than animal. Entire communities enforced curfews and protective rituals during full moons, locking doors and extinguishing lights after nightfall. In some regions, accusations of lycanthropy carried the same weight as witchcraft, and suspicion alone could be enough to condemn someone. Science explains these legends through disease and psychology. Rabies causes aggression, confusion, hypersensitivity to sound, and biting behavior, all traits later attributed to werewolves. Conditions such as hypertrichosis result in excessive hair growth, while severe psychosis can produce delusions of transformation. Lunar cycles also disrupt sleep patterns, potentially increasing anxiety and erratic behavior. Social panic turned isolated acts of violence into evidence of something monstrous. Yet the fear behind the legend never fully disappeared. Historical court records document people tried and executed for lycanthropy following unexplained attacks. In several trials, the accused confessed that they felt their bodies change at night, describing bones stretching and teeth aching before acts they barely remembered. Some villagers recorded attacks that stopped abruptly after an execution, reinforcing the belief the beast had been human all along. Whatever began the legend, it reflects a deep fear of losing control and becoming something unrecognizable. 3. Jengu. Along the rivers and coastlines of Cameroon, stories tell of the jengu, a water spirit appearing as a beautiful woman with long hair and shimmering skin. She is said to emerge at night, drawing fishermen closer with subtle movement or song. Those who follow her may be blessed, healed, or never return. Encounters are described as hypnotic rather than violent. In some traditions, jengu are guardians of water, enforcing balance rather than malice. Offerings are sometimes left at riverbanks to gain favor or protection, suggesting the spirit is treated with respect rather than fear. The jengu is also associated with sudden changes in fortune, appearing before unexpected prosperity or loss. Anthropologists interpret jengu legends as spiritual explanations for dangerous waters and unpredictable tides. Rivers conceal sudden currents, submerged obstacles, and sinkholes, especially after seasonal changes. Moonlight reflecting on water distorts perception, making figures appear where none exist. Water-based spirits are common in river cultures, often serving as both protectors and warnings against complacency near life-threatening environments. Still, the accounts remain remarkably consistent. Some fishermen describe seeing shapes beneath the surface where no reflection should be. Others report equipment malfunctioning near certain stretches of water. For believers, the jengu is not evil, but powerful and indifferent to human survival. 4. Unicorn. Medieval texts describe unicorns as elusive, horse-like creatures with a single spiraled horn, said to purify poison and heal illness. They were believed to inhabit remote forests, approachable only by the pure of heart. Royal courts prized supposed unicorn horns, displaying them as symbols of power and divine favor. Apothecaries even ground fragments into medicine, selling them at enormous cost. Inventories from European treasuries list unicorn horn among the most valuable objects a court could possess, often kept alongside sacred relics. Poison detection cups carved from these horns were believed to crack or sweat in the presence of toxins. Science identifies these horns as narwhal tusks, traded widely across Europe through Arctic routes. Misidentified antelope and rhinoceros sightings further shaped the myth. Symbolism transformed rare animals into something sacred and untouchable. The distance between buyer and source allowed belief to flourish, as few ever saw the living animal that supposedly produced the horn. Still, belief endured for centuries, even among scholars and physicians. The unicorn reflects humanity's desire for purity, healing, and order in a dangerous world. What is unsettling is not the myth itself, but how deeply people clung to it. Even stripped of literal truth, it continues to haunt imagination as something lost or never found outside. 5. White Lady. Across Europe and beyond, countless locations are haunted by the White Lady, a pale female apparition seen wandering roads, castles, and forests. Witnesses describe flowing garments, silent movement, and sudden appearances that vanish when approached. Many accounts link her to betrayal, loss, or unresolved grief. Some legends claim she appears only before tragedy. In several traditions, she is associated with specific sites, returning to the same paths or buildings across generations. Historical records show that similar figures appear in folklore as early as the Middle Ages, often tied to noble families or former estates. Science explains these sightings through light distortion, fog, and pareidolia, the brain's tendency to see familiar shapes, especially faces or figures, where none actually exist. Headlights, moonlight, and mist easily form human silhouettes. Emotional expectation heightens perception, especially in locations already associated with tragedy. Fatigue and low light conditions can also cause the brain to misjudge distance and motion, making stationary objects appear to move. But science cannot explain why reports span centuries and cultures. Some sightings occur in daylight. Others involve multiple witnesses describing identical details independently. In rare cases, accounts are recorded before a location's tragic history became widely known, complicating simple explanations. Whether memory, grief, or something older, encounters with the White Lady leave a lasting chill, long after she disappears. 6. Vampire legends of vampires stretch across Eastern Europe, describing the dead rising to feed on the living. Bodies were said to appear undecayed, bloated, or bloodied in graves. Villagers responded by exhuming corpses, staking or burning them to stop further deaths. Official records from the 18th century document such practices, particularly in regions that are now part of Romania, Serbia, Bulgaria, and Hungary. These beliefs were strongest in rural communities, where disease spread rapidly and medical explanations were limited. Science explains these signs through natural decomposition. Gases cause bloating, blood seeps from the mouth and nose, and nails appear longer as skin retracts. Diseases like tuberculosis, which caused wasting, coughing of blood, and pale appearance, fed the fear. Porphyria, a rare genetic disorder that can cause sensitivity to light, discolored teeth, and behavioral disturbances, has also been suggested as an influence, though this link remains debated among historians. Still, the mythology evolved with remarkable consistency. In 1897, Bram Stoker's novel Dracula drew heavily on Eastern European folklore, transforming local superstition into a global archetype. Stoker's work fixed the image of the vampire as both predator and seducer, ensuring the legend spread far beyond its original borders. Even today, burial rituals persist, in some cultures to prevent the dead from returning. Whether born of disease or dread, the vampire endures as a symbol of death that refuses to stay buried. 7. Spearfinger. In Cherokee folklore, Spearfinger is a shape-shifting being who appears as an elderly woman, her long finger sharp as stone. She is said to prey on children, luring them close before striking. Some versions claim her skin is made of stone, rendering weapons useless. She is often associated with isolated paths and mountain regions, places where help is far away and sound travels poorly. In several accounts, she disguises herself as a harmless relative or neighbor, calling children by name to draw them closer. Victims are said to vanish without a struggle, leaving only silence behind. Scholars interpret Spearfinger as a cautionary figure, warning against strangers and unsafe travel. Oral storytelling preserved these lessons across generations, embedding survival knowledge in fear. The story was traditionally told with deliberate detail, meant to be remembered clearly rather than dismissed as fantasy. Yet the legend contains unusual consistency. Specific locations are repeatedly named. Methods used to defeat her remain unchanged across accounts, often involving discovering the weakness beneath her stone exterior. For those who tell the story, Spearfinger is not a metaphor for danger, but a reminder of something that once walked the mountains. She is not spoken of lightly, but carefully, as though naming her might still carry weight. These creatures endure not through evidence, but through experience. If you dare, revisit the earlier chapters and subscribe to Wendigo Whisper. Some stories fade with time, others wait patiently for the next person willing to listen.